It's Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Monday. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap. I'm happy where I am, where everybody's miserable. I know how to do radio, 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 radio. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap.
All right, here I am. Not feeling great. Didn't have any sleep. Had to go to work anyway, and almost didn't do a morning show today because of that. But while at work, I did catch who are these podcasts talking about Opie. So it's all their fault, but it was a good show, and I hadn't really picked up. I did notice there is something odd, and it's all about the lighting and how Opie does his show. I don't know why he does that with the window background. I mean, sure, it's a good view and everything, but it just doesn't work lighting wise for his show there, and but it his mouth while he's yelling and stuff and doing his voices and whatnot, it's almost alien looking. And as the more they said it, the more I looked at it, I said, yeah, I guess it does have a blue tint to it. But it kind of reminded me of some of the weird horror movies, where they walk in on somebody and they seem normal at first, and then their mouth opens really, exaggeratedly wide, and it's all black and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe Opie has become a spirit from another dimension or whatever. So doodled a little bit at work. Here was one. Not quite right, but you get an idea. Then I did some Anthony's. This one for current Anthony is not bad. Might go with that. But for the completion of the piece, if you will, it's going to have Anthony floating about in the background or around him as he proclaims he doesn't really think about Anthony at all. No. And then proceeds to talk. Now, to be fair, of course, a lot of people were sending in these super chats and that sort of thing, asking him about, Anthony. And so he got the desired response. I don't know when he'll figure this out, but perhaps never. Uh, but such is the case of Opster and all that. And a lot of it's the same thing. Angel Guzman says, Happy Monday, Doug. Well, happy Monday, Angel Guzman. Draw boobies and gams. Well, a boob of a sort, but that's about it. Uh, Maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll draw some pretty girls. Still chaos. Dopey is a lizard person, Doug. Is that the explanation for the strange mouth these days? Howdy, Doug. It's great to see and hear you. Good morning to you and the people in the audience. Stealth Chaos says hi, St. Ranger. St. Ranger says hi. Hope you and Pam are doing well, says Stealth Chaos. St. Ranger says thank you. Angel Guzman has some laughing emojis. So there we are. I forgot. Now, again, uh, I just put in the super tip. Um, uh, it doesn't. I'm in uh, e, EV Mux. um, but gee, I thought there was. Is this how you do it? I think no. I Yeah, it shows up there, but that's not. I thought there was a. It doesn't. I don't see the obvious thing to pin it, so that's on me. Sorry. Uh, but anyway, there it's there. Uh, the actual the AI voices, I haven't figured out how to broadcast it. I can hear it on my end, but it doesn't come across on screen. I'm screwing it up some kind of way, and I'll have to keep working at it. But the text version, yeah, that'll be fine. It'll pop up. But I apologize. So anyway, there it is. Kai and friends. Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Kai and friends. So anyway, that's the deal. Obster still upset about Anthony. Sometimes Jim Norton, but mostly Anthony. Uh, as Anthony appears to be really loving life, uh, he's got his radio gig, and it just keeps expanding apparently. And that's what's so funny because, of course, Opie belittled it, and said this was the type of gig that would be beneath him, um, as opposed to, I guess, sitting in front of his window. Uh, but anyway, and then, of course, the deal gets syndicated. I think after the first episode, I think they were already pushing for that. So his numbers must be really, really good. And then they pushed for, hey, Anthony, how about a third hour? uh, Also, the pay is pretty good by my metrics. I would think it's better than, you know, a zero at Opie. Well, I mean, I don't understand that. He says he was offered deals. I Well, then I think you should have taken them. I mean, yeah, you take an opportunity, and you can grow from that. Now, what can you do? And I guess the answer for the time being is nothing, or not at all, or I don't know. Um, so uh, Anthony himself, and of course, I believe is where did I see this? I think she super chatted a show, or anyway, saying maybe that was Who Are These Podcasts, but saying that the third hour would be a further negotiation. So that means increase in pay for the gig, So you see, that was not the original discussion, but he's doing so well now. Hey, if Opie is just as good, if not better, than Mr. Comia, then I'll go back to radio and do it. Yeah. But what do I know? I just draw silly pictures. So, but he did inspire me to draw pictures of him on Mondays. So I'll always be grateful. But man, if I have another weekend like I did this weekend, especially last night, I'm gonna have to skip the Monday show because, like, jeez, that's pretty brutal. Let me see here. Uh, kind friends, maybe you must use Chrome rather than Firefox. Just a thought on the sound problem. Well, I'm using Brave at the moment, but I, man, my rotting brain. I'm pretty sure I did test it in Chrome. It made no difference. But yeah, I'll try it again. There's different things I mean, I'll go ahead and play the thing. Uh, let's see here. So there it went. Of course, I didn't get that. It took too long. I needed a longer one for that. Anyway, did you hear it? I doubt you did, but yeah. Hey, Thompson, Doug, that's me. Hey, Thompson, Chad was talking trash. I had to sit him straight. I told Chad Doug Nelson is a great guy. Hey, Thompson, don't let me find out you are a coke fueled polycule with your neighbors. Well, I mean, the only the only Coke I know of is uh, Coke Zero. Kind friends, I had a similar sound problem that went away with Chrome. Worth a shot. Yeah, but I mean, I think I already tried. But yeah, I do it again. Uh, but I'm in the middle of doing my juring, you understand. But yeah, I'll have to see them. It's a plot by Chrome, apparently. You will only use Chrome. Chrome, Chrome, bub bub, bebop. So anyway, beyond the airwaves, the solitary voice that cries out continues to cry out. But it's not to nobody. I mean, he gives fodder for who are these podcasts and the like. So you can't say it's all for nothing. You really can't. Oh, um, all right. There he is. Kind friends, the Chrome Bastises continue their evil plot to destroy the universe. Yeah, that's the thing about destroying the universe. Then what? Those guys who just want to do that. And I mean, the universe is where everybody keeps their stuff, and once it's gone, I, what are you going to do? I mean, I mean, unless they just want to end themselves, well, you could do that very easily. I mean, destroying the entire universe, you know. I mean, I'm no expert, but it's pretty big. So, it's probably gonna take a while to figure that one out, you know. So I guess there's that. You know, I said, well, now I got something to do for a very long time. As I've said on many Nelson ratings videos, I'm a sucker for found footage movies. Well, I got suckered in some more, and it's they had their moments here and there, but yeah, I'll have to tape a video review for those. But yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it was quite the letdown. But what are you gonna do? Well, I mean, you could just watch something else, of course. But no, I watched. Oh, I had to stop. I was in the middle of. So it was two of them. There was three altogether. There's some more on this list that I looked up. One led to the other, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll probably watch those too. But the first one was Missing Couple. The second one was Frogman, which of the two, it was probably a little bit better, but it falls apart towards overall. And um, yeah, the third one that I didn't finish was supposed to be about Mothman, but apparently there's a British version of Mothman. So these guys were, of course, British, and they're investigating their Mothman. And it's set up to be more of a comedy type thing. So maybe this one will work out better uh, than the other two. But anyway, Doug, thoughts on tariffs? Well, it's a gamble, and that's it. It's a game of chicken and who blinks first. You know, is if you can get the other guy to come around, then you give on them. So it's like from the standpoint of you've got these tariffs on us. What if we just do the same? Well, I'll do that. And if it is that kind of reaction, then it's a bit of a win. The overall concept that the revenue generated by it is sustainable. I mean, if they concede, and whoops, if they concede, then you're negotiating the deal where each side lowers their tariffs, so you're not really getting the revenue. you know, it's going to ebb and flow and all of that. So if you get enough to back down, well, you win ground on that. The idea of having it lopsided like it's been for so long, I don't know what else to do. Decades have gone by. Hey, don't do that. It led to the Great Depression and all this sort of thing. Um, the argument of doing nothing and taking it over and over again, and somehow our example will win them over. Why should they change? They've got a sweet deal where you let them, run amok on that. Then there's got to be some amount of gamesmanship here, of changing the board. So we'll see how it plays out. But it's always a gamble. There's always a risk, and some might be able to hold out more than you thought, and it could do damage. But we'll see how that goes. St. Ranger, I always expect the ink to smudge when Doug erases the pencil's lines. It does happen from time to time. Some of these pens, these art pens, are better to get really pinpoint, if I may use the term, lines. I just use a basic Papermate ballpoint pen. Those smudge. They'll smudge. You got to let them dry for a bit. A lot of times I'll forget and start erasing anyway, and well, it all goes to hell. And it's not pretty. But the other pens, a lot of these, they're basically really small, almost like Marxolite type points, and it dries very quickly, so it doesn't smudge. So, yeah. Kind friends, tariffs are a boost for domestic production, preparing for the machine robot revolution. When labor goes to zero, domestic goods that way will make the USA better poised for such a future. A. Thompson, Doug only uses imported Japanese premium inks and erasers. Probably so. More than, well, not that one. Well, if it's not going to say what it is, it's probably on the package, which I don't have anymore. A convenient story. Yeah, it probably is from Japan. Yeah, yeah. But you know, they're saying even Vietnam is saying, "Hey, look, we're willing to make a deal." So they, that's some. There, they said there was over 50 already saying, "Can we talk this over?" Well, yes, yes. So maybe Japan will come around too. I don't know. But the idea that everyone was just going to follow the example and the free market would actually exist, it's not going to happen that way. So you have to live within the reality of how humanity responds. There are no magic plans that suddenly they all fall into line. That's how the communists think. It's not going to happen that way. You can force them, you can scare them and kill a bunch of them and stuff like that. But eventually, oh no, it doesn't turn out great either, does it? Hey, Thompson, that's what they said here when they started them. The car companies built plants here, and the tariff still stayed. A car here made here is insanely expensive. A Honda Civic is made here and costs over $90,000. Wow. That must be one cool Civic, huh? Kind friends, Vietnam can make a play for much of China's exports too, making us less dependent on. Yeah, I know that's that really sticks in China's craw because I know they're both theoretically on paper both communist powers, but Vietnam has never trusted the Chinese, and here lately, they're more interested in the American market. And so, yeah, that's probably a good play on this. And China is very wary on trying to bully and muscle in on the Asian markets to be the dominant force there. But there's a way out of that. And hence, siding up to the United States is usually the way. A. Thompson, Ashley Furniture moved their entire production to Vietnam. Yeah, well, they may have to move a few back, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is all how you go about making deals. St. Ranger, this will sound dumb, but I half expected the pencil to not be erasable because the ink is like an overcoat, keeping the pencil covered under the ink. So I feel it's interesting. Pardon me, I'm a goof. Well, no, there is, back in the old art school days, and I'm sure they still do it, I just haven't bothered in so long, but pencil drawings would be done as the finished product, not necessarily painting over it or whatever. And there was a chemical you could spray it with to hold it, and it maintains it for a substantial amount of time. Now you put it in shrink wrap or under a glass frame and take care of it. It'll last a very long time. Obviously, there's drawings from old masters and, centuries old and that sort of thing. But it's the chemical called fixative, and you spray it down and it'll stay put. and it's not erasable after that. Not easily. Of course, you could tear up the paper, stuff like that. But ink, this comes out for me anyway, as the comic book means by which things like that occur. Uh, and the pencil to work on it because you can erase it and to get it right and then go over it in ink, essentially tracing the pencil drawing, sometimes correcting it along the way as well. Uh, and then that's the finished product. Printing ink is far superior, even with, I'm sure, more advanced means of scanning and whatnot would do well. But I just have cheap stuff. So just doing scans of ink work translates better to Photoshop. Terry Nee, the goal is not in our lifetime. The goal is to leave our unknown great grandkids better off than us. Well, ultimately, yes, we've been living on a bizarre credit system that our grandkids will pay off the debt we're running up. That's how that works. Now, at the moment, we still, possess assets that could cover the, trillions of dollars, but they're finite. Eventually, you'll run to the end of that. And the idea that some generation in the future that doesn't exist yet is just basically going to be slaves to this is it's a tad irresponsible, I would think. St. Ranger, I used to use those drafting pencils that said bottle of ink and a pencil on the pencil itself. If that line was moistened, it turned to a blue ink. Well, that's probably because those, I'm trying to remember what, damn it. Because, I mean, most are just the graphite pencil, but the drafting tools, obviously, it probably is akin to an ink, whatever the chemical makeup of it is, that makes a more permanent mark in drafting. But I don't know. Maybe my brother, he's a draftsman. Actually, he might know. He was schooled on the old day. Today, it's all AutoCAD and that sort of thing. But yeah, those different tools for that. Terry Nee, I told my boomer friends 20 years ago that kids born today will drag us out of our nursing homes and beat the shirt out of us. Yeah, probably. Because they're not going to be working to pay, benefits and Social Security and stuff like that when they can't even get a home, let alone rent an apartment. Not going to go for that. Not going to go for that. Oh, no can do. So, yeah, it collapses before you get to that point, really. And a lot of times, gee, where does it go? Well, usually war, just people start saying, you know what, you're never going to pay this off. We're just going to take it. And there you go. It disrupts into that because essentially nothing they have is of value. And, you can understand the anger. So it's winner takes all, for a while, then it collapses again later on. But would like to avoid that because that kind of war is going to go nuclear. And then what do you do? Oh, you die. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. Well, of course, hey, look, we're going to go anyway. Why not in a blaze of glory? Terry Nee, luckily our money is kept under our nukes. Yeah, but what if you fire the nukes? If you fire them, even before the devastation, the wasteland and everything, the rocket is going to burn the money. But if you keep it in gold, I wonder. Well, no, I don't know what a nuclear blast would do to gold. Could it turn gold to steam? I guess if it settled, it would still solidify. Whatever. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, nuclear war. Um, hmm. I mean, it could create mutant zombies and stuff like that, like in the movies. Giant ants. Maybe it would do that. That'd be cooler than everyone just dying of cancer and their skin falling off. Saint Ranger, they were ink. Do not lick them like a pencil. My dad told me as a kid. I never licked pencils. I knew people who had an obsession with biting them, and we look at those pencils and the bite marks in them. It was incredible. And I'm like, what the hell? But it was some nervous habit. A lot of people had it. Not me. No. And these pencils, even though they're really cheap knockoff technical pencils, if I bite them, it just falls apart. They're just cheap plastic and all that. So he says, my dad told me as a kid because I took them to school. I said, I won't eat the pencils. He said, good, don't. It will poison you. More than likely. More than likely. But, all those kids became smokers and stuff. So, whatever. Whatever tickles your fancy, I suppose, as it goes. I don't know. I'm not liking this drawing. I'm thinking maybe the original one was better. It's just he's got more hair than he does. But yeah, I could probably just do that. See, I'm thinking I'm going to put this in Photoshop, color it, and then have one of these Anthony heads floating around. This one's not too bad. This is a pretty good Anthony. Um, Anthony head. There we go. We'll do his hair. Oh, it's got to have the the damn it. What's the word? For the glasses. Jeez. Because I started blanking on stuff at work today. I couldn't remember. Some lady was asking me for the 5-hour energy drink thing, and I went completely blank. I just like, what is she talking about? They're right there. I sell that stuff all the time. In fact, I think I sold some an hour before her. And it's just one of those, you know. So now I'm like kind of punch drunk from that. So, yeah, but I want to draw Opie and do a show. And I guess the doodling I did at work probably better. I don't know. I think I made the mouth too wide. There's something off here. But, and of course, the Anthony drawings are better. They just are. So, sorry, Ope, but that's the way it goes. So I guess I'll do that for the Photoshop segment to follow shortly. Yes. A. Thompson says, I knew someone that with that biting thing with women. He had to bite them. Dracula? Hey, Thompson, you have no choice in Asia. They make you a writing instrument expert. The stores here have a literal aisle of pens and pencils. Wow. That must be awesome. Hey, Thompson, there's a difference in brands of inks and pencils. I like those Lamy 2mm pencils. All right. Well, everyone knows what to give A. Thompson for this Christmas. A. Thompson, called the Lamy ABC, also Muji, has a similar 2mm pencils. Well, that's nice. All right. Well, not much else to do, so I guess I will play. Oh, what I do with it? I brought it in here. Where is it? Damn, I hate it when it does that. It's like it puts it off in this other section. I brought in like a Nailsin News thing. Oh, there it is. Of course. Oh, that's embarrassing. It's a good thing I'm not on camera. Oh, Well, I don't know. That happened right in front of everybody. This thing should have. I'm sure it is. There's a thing that puts the the shot upon the screen, but I haven't figured it out because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Uh, no, it's not doing it. Well, all right. Hey Thompson, I was going to send Taz some pens and pencils. Her stuff is SP dirty. Huh. I I've never seen Taz draw dirty pictures. St. Ranger, I had a pen collection I started in high school. Sterling Silver, Parker, and Cross pens retailed for $15 and cost me $8. So I bought one of all. Pen, pencil, fountain pen by Cross and Parker. Still use them. Yeah, the fountain pens, that and using a brush to ink with, I just never could do it. There was ones that they just take to it, and it actually, especially the brush, it it's perfect. It's the best way to do that. But I stunk and couldn't do it. And the fountain pens, those didn't do much better there either. So eventually, I threw the ink out and just stayed with the training wheels of inking pens, you know. St. Ranger, I like using Fisher Space Pen refills in them. All right. All right. Let me go ahead and play Nelson Does. And then we'll jump to Photoshop. Boy, I don't think I've ever done Photoshop in EV Muck. So that'll be something. That'll be something. All right. Here comes Nil. Oh, it's already. No, there it is. Nailsin News. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Dad invited 31-year-old Florida man to share a bedroom with his 15-year-old daughter. So, here's the boyfriend. Nice shirt. You know? And here's Dad. Jeez, did he do a lot of coke or what? Yeah, I mean, God. Anyway, a Missouri dad thought his teenage daughter was talking to a nice guy online. Oh, jeez. And allegedly invited him to come live with them, even though that guy was 31 years old. Hey, this is like the setup of a sitcom, isn't it? Frederick Copping, 47, was arrested on March 14th, along with Travis Kalkbrenner, 31, the Florida man who called Copping's 15-year-old daughter his girlfriend. According to a probable cause statement, police were called to the home in response to a possible domestic incident. The arrest warrant was for Copping. Said that when Cole County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived, they observed that the teenager was extremely intoxicated. And according to the local affiliate, she claimed to be 22 years old. Deputies soon found out that she was 15, and her living situation raised some eyebrows. All right. According to Copping's arrest warrant, he explained to police that his daughter had been talking to Kalkbrenner for a few years. Few? And usually few can count as 3. So, 12? Good Lord. Oh, anyway, on the internet, where all the good stuff happens. And the two communicated on the Discord app, including video chats. I'll bet. Copping told police that Kalkbrenner seemed like a nice guy and allegedly invited the man to move into his home with his underage daughter. Copping stated that he believed Kalkbrenner was 25 or 26 years old. Oh, well, that changes everything. But reportedly admitted that he wasn't sure. So at least Kalkbrenner didn't say, hey, man, I'm 16. No. The probable cause statement, as well as the warrant, described how Copping and his daughter allegedly drove to Florida to get Kalkbrenner. Good God. I mean, is he just this big of a pushover for his daughter? You know, to where, Daddy, I love him. All right, honey. Okay. When the trio arrived back at their Russellville home in Missouri, Copping allegedly provided the boyfriend with condoms. Jeez Louise, look, whatever you got to do, keep her occupied. I can't take her crap anymore. And told Kalkbrenner, you better not get her pregnant. Or what, Dad? What? Copping was also asked by police about his daughter's alleged intoxicated state. According to the warrant, he said, well, she has this habit of getting into his alcohol, and hey, I can't control that. According to the probable cause statement, deputies said that Kalkbrenner allegedly admitted to several sexual encounters with the teenager whom he thought was 22 years old. Well, now here's the thing. This is quite the conundrum. Her father comes to get him from Florida and drive him back to Missouri to live with them. You know, and he may have a solid case. I really thought she was 22. You know. So, geez, there's a lot of toys here in your room. Kalkbrenner was charged with first-degree rape, first-degree sodomy, 2 counts of statutory rape, 1 count of first-degree sexual abuse, and 1 count of fourth-degree child molestation. He's being held at the Cole County Jail without bond. He's due in court on March 21st, 1st, whatever. Copping was charged with child abuse, first-degree endangering the welfare of a child, first-degree accessory to rape, yeah, first-degree accessory to, good Lord, 2 counts of second-degree accessory to statutory rape, 1 count of first-degree accessory to sexual. Hey, that's true. He is an accessory. He provided the condom. He said, go at it. And he's got nothing. I mean, the other guy said, look, I really believe she was 22. But the father, no, he knew she was 15. But, hey, look, she's 22 in her mind. Whatever, you know. And fourth-degree accessory to child molestation. During his video arraignment on March 17th, he pled not guilty to all charges. Yeah, that'll work. He is also being held at the Cole County Jail without bond. Well, then, you know, him and the very nice guy can hang out and talk about, hey, man, where do you think we messed up? He is scheduled for a counsel status hearing on March 21st and a preliminary hearing on April 3rd. Oh, that's it? Well, let's see what commentary has to say. Pat Veldon says this is just so wrong on so many levels. Well, the main thing, the main level here is the father. Klingon psychiatry with a, is that, yeah, that's Doctor Who in there. Well, whatever. Where is her mom in any of this? Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe she passed away. I don't know. Geist von Panzer, Kalkbrenner, and his enabler Copping need to be hung by their ankles in town square. Well, only if people get to beat them with shovels and brooms and stuff, right? I mean, just hanging from their ankles after a while, it's like, I mean, they'll get sick and stuff, but they'll be all right after that. John Michael, I actually think Dad has a thing for his own daughter. Oh, God. Living out his own fantasies through the... Do you think there was a chair at the end of the bed? And he sat, Geist Van Von Panzer, or with another man. Oh, he wanted his daughter to lure him in and get him all, fluffed so that he could walk in. Room for one more. I don't know. Sure is bizarre, isn't it? No, really. I thought she was 22. I thought she was 22. He's like, oh, well, he gets out of control with the alcohol, and I just can't deal with that. Well, you got stuff to deal with now. So the lesson here is don't let 30-year-olds date your 15-year-old. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. The OBS thing. There. Jeez. Just. Hey, Thompson, the Uniball gel is pretty good in 0.7 millimeters grape. Good flow. Hey, Thompson, a lot of people just get the wrong fountain pen to start with and hate them. Best one to start with is the Lamy Safari. Yeah, well, I tried quite a few. St. Ranger, how did that song go? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I'm loaded for bear. I think it was I Feel Fine, but to each their own. All right, let's see here. That looks like it. There I am. You are sharing a screen without sharing your system sound. My system sound is supported only while sharing screen or specific tab. I just want them to hear me, the mic, Anyway, so here we go. There's Obster. There's our Anthony's. I might just ignore this one, go with this, and I might throw this in. I don't know, or just use this one. I don't know. But anyway, this might end up being like a work in progress type thing. I got to think about background and all that. The Doodleverse comic book, based on all the Dabbleverse stuff, is complete. At least the one I had worked on recently. That I will be sending it off to the printer, and it will be available in print and digitally, should you so desire. And I put in some Opie cartoons in there, so he won't be left out. Interestingly enough, there's only like a handful of Stuttering John cartoons in it. A lot of Steel Toe, some Kevin Brennan, and Chad. But only a little bit of Stuttering John. It couldn't last forever, I suppose. So anyway, that'll be something. It is something, no matter what. It's it's a bunch of paper with the comic strips printed on it and stapled together, sort of in a spine formation in the back, and they're folded on one another, and it makes something akin to a booklet, more like a magazine, but a little book, a little book, and The only problem is I just don't know how long they'll be to get it going, and then for it to be available in the store. So, yeah. But once it was done, I thought, well, I could do more of these, you know. So I'll just every time there's some doodling thing, whether it has a comic strip element to it or not, it could be all a part of the collection. Won't that be nice? Yes, yes. Oops. Well, wait a minute. Maybe some of this might work. There we go. Uh, One thing about this particular episode, which, yeah, it was the most recent. Um, there's actually a part where Opie literally admits he's bitter. And it's like, wow. I mean, it's kind of impressive. Um, I mean, he also did says, I hardly ever think about this stuff. And it's like, I mean, granted, it is people, asking him questions to get him going, but I mean, if he would just, he was, yeah, I've said all I'm going to say. There's nothing else to talk about. We used to do radio together. We don't anymore. The end. Something like that. But the only interest to his videos is when he addresses this stuff. Now, I don't know what the mileage is there, but I mean, other things have lasted much longer than I would have thought they could. So it's like the only reason to pay attention to Obster is him going off on Anthony and Jim Norton and all that. And anyone else, attached. Man, that thing he pulled on Sam Roberts, that was rotten. I just think that's. I mean, you can say you don't like the guy or whatever, but jeez. All right, Flaton. Oh yeah, already forgetting the title of the show. Blue in the Mouth. So that's the thing about Opie's mouth. It looks strange. I'm not really capturing that here because I would have to darken everything out to where you can barely make out his face. I did it in the thumbnail. I guess the thumbnail is only on Rumble. I'll put it in. Of course, I'll probably add this to the thumbnail eventually. But that's basically it. It just put a blue tint over his mouth. I don't know what that's about. Well, I mean, I do know. It's the lighting and all that. But that's what Opster does. He wants you to see out the window. It's either in the apartment where you see New York outside, and or his beach house where you see the beach. And it's a nice view and everything, but it's clashing with the lighting for to see him do his show. I don't know. Well, whatever. that stuff. Go ahead and flatten and put this here. There we go. Oh crap! Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks like he was a bit unshaven again, so I ought to add some of that here. There we go. As he proclaims, he's going to need a bigger deal than what Anthony's got. But again, the real key to this is you take a deal and you make it grow. It's like a garden, you know. And well, the plant starts out small, but you take care of it, you nurture it, and suddenly it grows and grows and grows. And then, well, in the case of a garden, it's a lovely vegetable or fruit, something of that nature. If you just wanted to grow a tree, you know, it's just a little shrub at first, and then, good Lord, look at it now. Um, that sort of thing. Um, and overly concerned about what he considers beneath him. And well, it just doesn't come across well, does it? You know, but and it was the odd thing about in order for him to do it, it would have to be a certain amount, as opposed to the nothing now. Uh, so it was strange, but Opie is strange because he's a stranger. People don't understand Opie at all. Well, this guy probably does. But okay. So I will color these Anthony pictures. Oh, well, let's take that out a little. There we go. And again, when it comes to the glasses, I have my shortcut rule that I don't have to color the eyes because it depicts that there's a lens there, you see. It's a very artistic choice. Yes, yes. Oh, it's not being lazy. No, no, not at all. There we go. Well, I could have done a better job on the glasses, though. Well, sorry, Anthony. I'm not perfect. Hey, guys, I'm not perfect. Um, there we go. I'll put some of this here. Whoops. It's not quite John Sahag, but of course, I don't know. Where does Anthony go for all his hair care? You know, because that was New York, and now it's South Carolina. So he's probably mentioned it, and I missed it. You know, more than likely. And so it's starting to look like red. That's strange. Yeah. Well, I was going to do a Nailsin ratings thing on uh, some stuff about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. And man, I'll probably, I mean, I will tape something later, but it's it's not looking good. It's, I mean, I don't know. Okay. Uh, well, be this. Probably something of this nature. Um, what the hell? Oh, it's the. There we go. We're going to just do a little touchy poo on the lips. That's what we're going to do. All right. Okay. Damn it. Damn. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe go much simpler. There. So, what does Opie agonize about? It's Anthony. Every time a troll super chats him, it's Anthony. He can't think of anything else. It's on his mind 24/7, and he's going nowhere. Dun 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 dun. Anthony. He's on his mind 24/7. It's Anthony. All right. Hmm. 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 Of course, I usually just go with my standard Anthony cartoon, which was probably the best one I did of Anthony. Um, and I tried to repeat it, and it's like, damn it, ever elusive. I'll chase that cartoon from one end of the universe to the other. From Hell's Gate, I'll not give him up. Let's see here. Oh, hell, just put the whole thing in there. You can cover it up later. I don't know why I bother. Why make it harder than it needs to be? Well, that's the question. You know, it is. But a lot of this effect here with the soft brush and then the layers, it's akin to watercolors. Mm, yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, geez. Man, I really screwed up that first one. Now I'm all embarrassed. And I should be. Oh, good Lord. Uh, there we go. All right. Let's see here. Bloop. And Obster. Blue in the mouth. I'm not blue in the mouth. Well, there appears to be quite a few who would have an argument for that, Mr. Hughes. All right. So essentially, it's the same thing. Uh, Opie crying out, haunted by phantom images of his former partner, one Anthony Cumia. So, here's Anthony. Yeah, it's like in the old days on the old show. I don't know. Something would come up, that would be just really hilarious. And Anthony would start laughing. Uh, yeah, those were good times. Well, I guess it wasn't great for Opie. I don't know. Well, I guess we do know. Uh, what are you going to do? So there we go. There he is. He's blue in the mouth over Anthony. Yeah. Yeah. That's the deal. What are you going to do? Okay. Let's see. A. Thompson, is MKE on the drawing rotation yet? I've only done one drawing of him. I did a portrait of him and Mazzy, based on a photo of, him, of the two of them that he pinned to his Twitter. He may have taken it down by now. So, um, but yeah, I could probably draw him again. The Adventures of MKE. St. Ranger says Deb got her Swiss Army knife. She liked the magnifying glass. Oh, good. Yeah, she wanted that already. Hey, Thompson, anything cool happen at work? Not really. It's just I was so exhausted because I didn't get any sleep. And I'm I'd better bring this to an end soon because I need to get on that. But I get in this goofball state of, and I don't even know what time it is half the time and stuff like that. But I don't know. I wanted to draw. It was Monday morning, and I just wanted to draw a picture of Opie. And I did. I was going to do all this other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's not happening. But anyway, at work, no, not so much. The other night, though, we had this storm, and it wasn't that much. Most of it had happened before I even got there. It was supposed to be horrendous, but it was elsewhere in Louisiana. Up north, they had some bad stuff. But when I got there, not long in the first hour, a lightning bolt hit right in front of the store. It didn't seem to damage anything, but there it was, and of course they're very loud. Um, and then that was it. It kind of just it drizzled here and there, and kind of fizzled out. And the front came through, so now everything's gone from the 80s to the 40s. So that's about it. Kai and Friends Amazon digital coloring book combo. My wife would buy it. Kai and Friends Anthony hurt Opie's poopy with his mean words. Oh my God. Is that what makes the mouth turn blue? St. Ranger Opie bitter? Shocking. Positively shocking. I mean, oh yeah. Shocking. Positively shocking. From 007 Goldfinger. Wah, 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 wah. Stealth Chaos. St. Ranger Ant looks generally happier lately than he did a year or two back. Well, yeah, he's recovered from his ordeal, and yeah, he looks like a guy loving life. He's having fun with this radio show, and especially since it can't be overstated that it's a rather significant thing to have happened because he was quite the canceled guy, and for any radio outfit to give him a shot like that is it's rather significant. And Angel Guzman, don't forget the bump of blow on the nose. Really? For Opie? It's news to me. Kai and Friends Bee Gees, yes. But a bit paraphrased. I will admit that. Hey, Thompson, LOL, I doubt he took it down. Okay. Hey, Thompson, did anyone come in and ask when does the Starship land? The Starship? You mean the Elon Musk ship? I don't know. Hey, Thompson, in college, we would do all-night road trips. Yeah. We would stop at gas stations and joke around with the tellers, ask if they refueled starships. And they say, well, if you can get it under there. Hey, Thompson, we would try to make them smile. Most didn't appreciate it. Yeah, they don't want to be there. They're not happy. And they're always worried the next one walks in is going to blow them away. I mean, that's just the way it is. And yeah, it's sad. But I don't know what else there is to say about it, really. Now I'm all down in the dumps and stuff. Thanks, Thompson. Okay, I better go to bed. So here, there's the image, some form of fashion. I may put a background in it, with the window and the buildings and stuff like that, or something else. I don't know, but to be continued, I suppose. But basically, the main artwork is that there. His mouth, he's blue in the mouth. Yeah. Saint Ranger says, "Thank you." Well, you're welcome, Saint Ranger. I'm glad you got a kick out of it. And Kind Friend says, "Thumbs up, bigots." Oh my goodness. Bigoted against bitter former radio stars who just can't get over the fact that maybe their partner was funnier than him. I don't know. But look, he is owed his place in radio history, and he, without him, the show wouldn't have happened. So you'll always have that. You can't take that away from him. In spite of E-Rock clutching on to his life sword. Jeez. Opie just lashes out at everybody. And it's interesting. Boy, everybody, just about everybody. I'm trying to think of any that wouldn't. Um, they all they're all on good terms with Anthony. So there's some math to do there. All right. Thanks for showing up and watching me, draw pictures and stuff. And we'll do it again soon. I do intend to do that very thing. So have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go and be comatose for a while. That's what I do during the day. Just like Dracula. Just like Dracula. Anyway, thanks again and have a good day.
This Monday.